Hi Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are looking at a bit of, whatever sort of comes out. We've had some really interesting readings so far this week, so it'll be fun to sort of see what comes out for you today, Taurus, as well. So I am in my new place. I haven't really quite worked out the best, lighting and all those sorts of things as of yet, and where to sort of position the camera and whatnot. So, sorry, I'm kind of looking a bit overexposed today, and I know there is a bit of construction work going on nearby at the moment as well, so hopefully we won't be interrupted by noise. As we all know, anyone that does watch the Taurus videos, you guys normally do get interrupted with background noise. So in the past it's been the dogs, but there's not really that many dogs around this particular area. I do have quite a lot of birds. There's a big flock of crows that live in a tree very close, and I have noticed they can make quite a bit of noise. But like I said, there's some construction work going on sort of nearby as well. So hopefully it doesn't really bug us too much. Right as I'm talking about background noise, there was a motorbike going past, but that's okay. We can handle some background noise here and there. Okay, so sorry about all that, but we are using today the Inner Child Oracle. I know we can't see the pastel colours very well on that there, but the other side is very bright, so we have no drama seeing the actual cards. Each card does have an individual affirmation on the reverse as well. We do also have the True Love Oracle deck there, and I am sort of using the lenormand of Japan to sort of pull out those main messages as well. But how we're sort of doing that today, going to take 2 oracles and we'll go from there. Okay, Taurus. What's going on with Taurus? What does Taurus need to know? Okay, we had one jumping out, so I'll take, and a second jumping out. Okay. You're making it easy on me today, Taurus. Okay, so firstly, we do have transformation. So you can see the cute little bunny in his egg, hatching out of his egg. We do have the chick, the egg, and the butterfly. So we do have quite a lot of symbols of, transformation and changing. So changing from an egg to a chick, and then, we all know the butterflies do change from the caterpillars, then the chrysalis, and then the beautiful butterflies as well. So transformation. I am becoming all I wish to be. So going through a period, Taurus, where I feel like you're kind of realizing how much you're transforming at the moment, and realizing that you kind of are metamorphosizing in this total brand new way into a brand new version of yourself. You're now this beautiful butterfly. You've hatched out of your egg, and sort of seeing where things are going from here on out. But I do feel that's quite a big difference for, if you think back to maybe 10 years ago, the person that you were, you've gone through a lot of transformation and growth in that time, I feel. We also do have the refuel card, so we can see the little bunny there in the diner, eating, so refueling his body, looking after his body. I am worthy and deserving of reward, that one says. So not only being worthy and deserving of rewards coming in, but refueling your body, your soul, in order to receive those rewards. Maybe taking a little bit of time to just stop and recharge your batteries, so to speak, refuel your energy. So something coming through this week, Taurus, where you may definitely be finding you're needing to sort of stop and refuel a little bit. So Taurus are quite well known for loving their food. So who's going to complain about an excuse to eat some lovely food? This is actually, like, it's not too bad. It's a hamburger. He does have a cupcake, but he does also have an apple and a juice. Okay, so even though he's at a diner, he's not eating total junk food. But so recharge and relax a little bit as well. Realizing that you have already come a long way. You need to sort of recharge your batteries after going through so much transformation in your life, and just I feel like just take a second to just chill, Taurus, and you know, refuel yourself in however you need to do that for yourself, whether that be, you know, your body or your soul, you know, refueling your batteries in your soul as well, just recharging a little bit. Okay, but we'll get a bit more information for you. Taurus. Okay, we'll go 2 for transformation and 2 for refueling. What does Taurus need to know about this energy? Okay, so for the transformation card, we do have the house firstly, followed by the coffin. Okay, so the coffin really does let us know that you've closed the lid on who you were in the past. You know, I am getting that for some of you, this is, you know, in relation to who you are within your family. So, you know, this may not resonate for everybody, but I really feel that there's some aspect of you where you've transformed from the person that you used to be within the family circle. So, you know, whatever your place was in your family previously, you have sort of closed the lid on that version of yourself. So I'm just getting the vibe there that there's a few Tauruses who, you know, maybe have been a bit of a, you know, a house reference here. I'm getting a bit of a doormat in the past. With your family, allowing your family to sort of walk all over you, and you being the sort of peacekeeper, and you're kind of ending that cycle. You've broken free from being stuck to that, being stuck into that family dynamic where you can only be this, you know, you're the stable, secure person for the family, and they all rely on you. But who do you rely on within the family when you need to? So I feel as though you've kind of closed the lid on that cycle, and changing that dynamic just within yourself, and the way that you are, you know, transforming yourself to be this brand new version of yourself, and you know, not put up with those sorts of behaviors where you are getting treated, you know, as though you're any kind of doormat, or anything like that, where you're the stable one within the family. You sort of transforming into, you know, allowing yourself to break away from the family a little bit, and, you know, live your own life, and really not being stuck to, you know, this certain dynamic that I'm just feeling that's what's sort of coming through for majority of you here, that, you know, there has been some sort of dynamic within your family in the past where you've now sort of closed that out, and you've ended that, and you've sort of broken free from that. There's probably a part of you, we do see the figure here crying over the coffin, so there's probably a part of you that, you know, does miss that part of yourself, that you were like that, but then it's kind of that mixed emotion kind of thing. You know that doing that is for your highest good, and it's allowing you to have new beginnings for yourself, and for your own life, and instead of having to sort of worry about the family, and looking after all of them. You know, I do feel as though this is you sort of closing the lid on, you know, being the caretaker, and then moving forward in your own life for yourself, and doing what you need to do for yourself, transforming that dynamic as necessary. If that doesn't resonate for you, you know, we are just talking about some sort of dynamic within your sense of stability. You know, you've changed what keeps you stable in this world, and you've transformed away from that previous way of doing things, and we're now sort of moving on into those, once again, those new beginnings, that new start for yourself, focusing on you and your life, instead of worrying about you know, keeping everything around you stable and steady all the time. And then when it does come to that refuel card, where you are sort of needing to stop and recharge your batteries a little bit, we do see here the Tower. So yeah, that's that solitude, you know, that needing to take some time to yourself, lock yourself up in the Tower, and take some time to yourself to really work out, you know, be emotionally intimate with yourself, and really work out, you know, where you're going from here, because this is a longevity card, the lily there. The lily is all about longevity, long term, like where it's kind of that vibe of, you know, when you reach the end of your life and you look back at where you've been, what do you want to be able to say, that you have done for yourself? Do you want to say that, you wore yourself so flat out that, you never stopped and took this time to refuel and, really focus on yourself a little bit there, Taurus? And that you ended up burning out and burning out and burning out? Or do you want your, when you look back on your life, do you want to be able to say, you know what, I did really well at, taking time to myself when I needed to, I did really well at, being very intimate with my own emotional side, and taking care of that side of myself, and that actually gained, a lot of this or that, or this or that. And so I really feel as though it's just that kind of reminder that, if you do want the most positive outcomes in the long term, that you do need to take time to yourself, or not even by yourself but, that time to just recharge your batteries, and make sure that you're not heading into a burnout, or getting so overwhelmed with things that you're kind of forced into having that refuel, even without wanting to, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just a bit of a reminder for you, Taurus, to just slow down a little bit, and make sure you're looking after yourself. Okay, Taurus and love. What's going on for Taurus with love? Okay, so yeah, this is connecting straight up to those first messages here, because we do have the reparenting yourself card. Okay, so very strongly connected to, whatever this family dynamic was in the past for you. So whatever you have sort of grown up, that you being that place in the family, having that role within your family, when you were younger, that you're kind of reparenting yourself, that, what, I don't need to, I'm not the parent of my whole family. They have their own lives. They have that, and reparenting yourself, that, what, I don't need to take care of everything and everyone. I need to take care of myself first and foremost. And so it is that transformative cycle where you are sort of reparenting yourself, and really, just flipping the dynamic, so that, you're not having to be that caretaker. You're not being a doormat to everybody else's needs. You are, just retraining yourself to look after yourself, because I do feel that, for some of you in the past here, we may have had this dynamic that has left you in a bit of a burnout, or feeling overwhelmed, because, sometimes the Tower can talk about the past as well. So it's kind of talking about, you don't want the past to repeat itself. So for some of you, I definitely feel as though you have experienced that sort of burnout, that overwhelmingness, of looking after everybody else's needs, rather than your own, and you're sort of retraining yourself to focus on you and what you love and what you want to follow in life, rather than worrying about, everybody else, and their needs, and their love. This is all about finding that love for yourself, like through your own support of yourself. Okay. And then we do see spiritual maturity coming through as well. So we are seeing that you are definitely headed on this path, and you are leading, you are continuing this transformative energy, up this path to full spiritual maturity for yourself. So, for a lot of you, that's talking about, refueling that side of yourself as well. Like I did mention, make sure we're recharging our soul as well as our bodies, taking care of ourselves, and really, doing the work to, make sure we are transforming, and moving towards the spiritual maturity. I do feel as though, for you, Taurus, we're definitely on a beautiful path, and you are transforming yourself, in all aspects of your life, not just within this, caretaker role, but also just in general with your spiritual side, and those sorts of things as well. Really protecting yourself, and moving forwards into where you want to be, and without, worrying about what anyone else is trying to tell you, that you need to do this or that in order to be more spiritually mature. You're taking on board your own self a lot more, which is absolutely lovely to hear. But we'll have a bit more of a delve into love, because that did just cross-reference that other message there. Okay, Taurus, what's going on for Taurus with romantic love, please? What's going on for Taurus with romantic love? Okay, and can I just get clarity for that second card, please? Can I just get clarity for that second card for Taurus? Okay, so this is exactly why it was still coming through. With those true love oracles, it was still coming through very connected to this part, this like initial message here, because we do have the scythe, okay, which has got the cross there with that as well. So this is you know, making a sudden change to release any burdens that you've been carrying. You've been carrying this burden from the family dynamic kind of energy, you know, and you're making a sudden break from that, a sudden change from that. That's very much like that. That coffin energy, closing the lid on that, closing the lid on those burdens that you've been carrying, and refusing to sort of carry those burdens anymore. And what it's sort of doing is it is actually shifting your destiny slightly, because that was clarified with the autumn card. And the autumn card, I'm not actually reading this week. This particular card is not coming through as the season. I do normally read the seasons as my own. So this would be it is spring here in Australia, so this would be 6 months from now. But I'm not feeling the time framing with that one at all. It is just talking about autumn is the time when we shift our colors. The colors change in the trees, so that we can and the tree sheds the old leaves to make way for the new. And that's exactly what this is all about. It's you shifting yourself, transforming yourself, in order to make room for the new. And you're sort of changing your colors, dropping those leaves that you don't need, so that you can grow brand new leaves. Slight changes to your destiny, and you're doing that though. And it's more towards what you want. You're shifting more towards your true destiny, rather than allowing yourself to stay trapped in this past sort of destiny, that you were following a certain path that you realize that's not actually taking me where I want to go. So I need to make some little shifts within myself to really follow my destiny to where I want to actually go. Okay, so definitely making some sudden unexpected changes. I'm just getting this vibe, Taurus, that some people around you may not be very happy about this. So just be wary of that every time we do change, for our own higher good, for our own personal betterment, the people that have been taking advantage of us, do not react very well to us all of a sudden having certain boundaries raised and whatnot. So just remember that that's all just part and parcel, and it shows you how much you are transforming if you are getting a reaction from that, because all of a sudden they can't take advantage of you anymore, and it's confronts them with their own behavior. So it's not really about you, it's about them, making them realize that they have been mistreating you this whole time. So I do feel that it is to that extent of some sort of mistreatment, maybe not in a totally negative way for all of you, but I do feel it's that kind of doormat energy that you people have sort of forced you into this caretaker role, whereas now that you are focusing on yourself, that I feel like, I'm just intuitively feeling like there's going to be somebody around you who is not going to react well to this. And that's a bit of a sign to you to know that there's a reason they're not reacting very well to the way that you're changing, and that's because all of a sudden you're not putting them first, you're putting yourself first. And people don't like that. But at the end of the day, it's all for your highest good. So, it's well supported for you to keep on doing that and focus on yourself, because if you don't look after yourself, who's going to look after you? Because I get the feeling that that person who has been taking advantage of you, if all of a sudden you turned around and needed them in the same manner, they may not be there the way that you're there for them. So we want that energy to be a bit more reciprocal. But that's part of why this is actually part of your new destiny, especially to connecting into love as well. So you are needing to sort of make these transformations and reparent yourself, re-educate yourself, just to set up a stronger foundation for yourself within love. Because then we do have the birds and the garden. Okay, so this is all about conversations here with the birds, as well as social, getting out there, putting yourself out there, meeting up with people. So for a lot of you, this is talking about maybe meeting somebody in the near future. If you're not actually interested in dating or meeting somebody love related, this is talking about meeting up with people that you love and care for, and that they love and care for you. Meeting up with a friend, having those really deep conversations. It definitely could be, just those, those big D&M conversations that you have with your friends and whatnot. But I do feel for quite a few of you, this is actually talking about, starting conversations and then meeting somebody. So I am feeling for some of you that these conversations are taking place with somebody that you haven't actually met as of yet. But it does feel like a lot of conversation, like a lot of talking, and then meeting. So I do feel for some of you, this is like meeting someone online and then meeting them in real life, that kind of a vibe. Okay, so but for others of you, it could just be talking about, relying on the people that do support you, and that they support you in this transformation, and talking to them about things, getting back out there, going out in, public social spaces, meeting up with friends and all that sort of thing as well. All right, but as always, you're more than welcome to check your other placements, but that's what we have for you today, Taurus. I do hope that resonated, but hopefully we'll see you all again soon.